Assalamualaikum, my name is Aksa and welcome to my YouTube video. Today we will learn that how we can create YouTube summarizer using LangChain, Python, Gemini and one more concept from the LangChain, that is LLM chains. And we will learn that how we can create system design before starting any project. What is the system design, how it helping the project. So yeah, let's start. First we will see the system design. The system design is simply look like that what is your mind map to implement your project or to complete your project. For example, I want to do a single scenario, for example the research paper summarizer or a YouTube summarizer. So what logic or what kind of a path I will take to complete my project or complete my specific scenario. So for example, here we will see that we are actually creating YouTube video summarizer. So first we need a YouTube video for that. We have YouTube video URL. We already know that I can get URL very easily, rather than if I call YouTube API and all that stuff. I can get URL very easily, and from that URL I am trying to get some captions, subtitles or audio. It can be like that. I can also get audio, or it's very beneficial if I directly get the captions or directly get the subtitles from the video. And luckily we have one Python library that actually implement this thing. So we have a Python library called YouTube transcript API. This library I will use to actually extract the captions, subtitles from the video URL. So yeah, now I have the part that first I need to YouTube video, then I need to use YouTube transcript API so that I will have captions and subtitles. Always remember that there is not a single way to complete your project or single way to complete your problem. There are multiple ways. For example, here I directly take captions and subtitles from the YouTube video. You can also do that. You can extract the audio from the YouTube video and then transcript it so that you will have the text from the YouTube video. So you can do that also. Then I pass this caption to the LangChain. Okay, fine. I have context and I want to summarize it. So I have context and I need to summarize it. So I first need to write a prompt to summarize the content that I already have. So that's the prompt I need to generate. So I also need to create a prompt also. And for the summarizer, I need an LLM. So what happened? Okay, fine. I have the captions, I have the prompt, but I need to pass this to the LLM so that LLM perform the specific task that I actually wanted to perform. Okay, right? So I also need an LLM. So that's what I actually created. So we created the system design. Now let's move towards the code so that we can see that if we created the system design, how we can convert the system design into the actual code. But before that, first let's see the demo so we will understand that okay, fine, that's the thing we actually want to do. So let's start here. This is the demo. Okay, first I need to run the file. Let's run it. We will see this, but first let's run it. Okay, if I run this file, this you can say front end will open up, and I need to provide the YouTube URL. That URL is actually from my previous tutorial of data analyst bot, so you can see that also. If I enter this and it is running, and it will create the summary of the overall video that I actually created. As I already said that in that video I created the data analyst agent, so it is showing that yeah, you created the data analyst agent. So that's how our project will work, end-to-end project will work. Now let's move towards the code so that we understand that how this actually summary is creating. We actually go through the system design and we actually know that okay, fine, this is the workflow that we have done, and this is actually happening. So let's see that how it happening. Here we have this code. From this code, first we need to install libraries, important libraries. As I already said that we actually need to use Gemini. So for the Gemini, we need to use LangChain, Google Gemini. Through this library, we can actually, this is helpful for directly interact with the Gemini API or Gemini model. Then we have LangChain community. LangChain community is basically, it will provide the core of prompts and all that stuff that actually, yeah, you can say components of LangChain. It provides us the way to actually access the components from the LangChain. Then we have YouTube transcript API that I already said to you that this library from the Python YouTube transcript API, it actually transcript the YouTube captions or subtitles directly through the video ID. We need to provide the video ID, and through that video ID it can directly transcribe the YouTube, or it can directly get us to the YouTube captions or subtitles. So yeah, that's how it worked. And you can also provide the languages to the YouTube ID, along with the YouTube ID, so that it can help us to caption the in other languages also. So yeah, that's from YouTube transcript API. Now let's move towards the further. Afterwards I actually imported the libraries that I actually wanted to use. We are using LangChain community, and from LangChain community I am using document loader. Document loaders is a component from the LangChain that actually help us to install or load any kind of document. Like it can be text, it can be PDF, it can be CSV, it can be Excel, or it can be like other contents also, like YouTube loader. It load the YouTube content from the YouTube URL, right? But you have one question here, that we are using YouTube transcript, so why do we need to use YouTube loader? Basically YouTube transcript API is actually using behind this YouTube loader. YouTube loader, document loader, is provided directly through the LangChain community. And LangChain community, from LangChain community is actually using the library of YouTube transcript API. So we have to install that library in order to run this YouTube loader. That's a, you can say, a dependency on that library of YouTube loader from the LangChain community. So yeah, we actually created the LLM using Chat Google Generative AI, and we are using Gemini Pro here. And we are also loading the YouTube loader from the LinkedIn community. From that YouTube loader we actually have YouTube URL. We will provide the YouTube URL, and from that URL it has to load, it has to give us the content present in that in that video, like captions or subtitles, all these things. So yeah, we actually load, we actually provide the YouTube video URL to the YouTube loader, and then we need to load, and we need to actually get the page content from that specific loader. We don't need overall information that loader has provided to us, we just need the content from the YouTube URL. So this is we get from the page content, right? Then we have this prompt template. As I already said, the prompt template is something that we have to provide the prompt also with the content that we actually get from the YouTube loader. So here we have prompt template. From prompt template we are actually giving input variables. Input variables is the content of the video that we actually get from the YouTube loader. This content we actually get from the YouTube video, so we need to provide that. And along with that we have the template of prompt template. Prompt template is basically this prompt that actually showing what you need to do with this content, what is the specific task you need to perform on that content. So we are using this. Then we have LLM chains. LLM chains are basically providing us the, you can say, like in deep learning we have the sequence, model of sequence, that we are actually, a layer will work as a sequential, like first layer will work, then second layer, then third layer. It's like a sequential. So LLM chains is basically providing us to actually create the sequence of the workflow. That for example, we have the LLM chains. First we need to provide the LLM, then we need to provide the prompt, and then we need to provide the input. That input go into the prompt, that prompt will go into the LLM. So that's how it will work. So that's why we are saying it to LLM chains, because we are specifically using LLM with prompt. So that's how we create LLM chains. Chains are basically used for the RAG concept also, because in RAGs we have to connect retriever, we have to connect vector database, LLMs, prompts, all these things. So the chain concept is mainly occur, or mainly for the RAG concept. So if you understand the LLM chains or chains from LangChain, you will understand that how are actually RAG working, or what is the workflow behind the RAG. So that's why we are using LLM chain here. So in that chain, we actually created the LLM chain, and we provide the LLM and prompt also. Prompt is something that we have created prompt template. Then we have to provide the content, because I already said that if we have the input variable, and that input variable is content, so we have to provide the content here. So that's what I provide to the chain dot run content, and I run it, and it is giving me the summary. So as you see that we created the system design, and we actually implemented the system design into the code. First we actually get the YouTube video URL, and that YouTube video URL caption subtitle using transcript API. Here we actually use LLMs also, because LLMs YouTube loader, sorry, LangChain YouTube loader, LangChain YouTube loader help us to use this library directly. We don't need to write additional code towards it. That's why we are using it. And after getting the content from that library, we are passing that content into the prompt, just like here. We get the content, we pass it to the prompt, and we have the LLM, and through this LLM and prompt is actually creating the chain, and that chain is passing to the content. So yeah, that's how it worked. And this is the summary we actually got. The task we have to do, or we want to do, is actually done. Now let's move towards the front end, that how we can create the front end, or we can convert this simple collab or a simple Jupyter notebook into the back end and front end, or a full stack development. So let's move towards it. This is the IDE first. So let's start. I already told you that you need to create three files. More sure, it's requirement.txt. Number two is .get ignored. Number three is .env. In .env, you pass all your public API. Oh, sorry, private APIs, not public APIs. It's your public APIs or your secret keys that you actually want to implement, or you want to keep by yourself. So you need to provide those in .env like this. That you need to provide the you need to create a variable and and then provide the value directly. So that's how you create .env file. .gitignore is the file that you actually don't want to push it into the GitHub, so that it will remain into your local only. That's the point of .gitignore. Then we have requirement.txt. Requirement.txt is actually, for example, in Colab we actually installed the libraries through this command. So we need to pass these libraries into requirement.txt, so whenever we want to run this code or in onto another machine or somewhere else, so what we need to do, we need to directly load the requirement.txt, and it will install all the libraries in order to have to run this application, right? Then we have utils.py. Utils.py is actually having all the codes that we actually done in the collab, like that first we need to create the LLM, importing all the things that we have already imported in that. Then we need to create LLMs, and then I actually we have this loader. I converted that into a function, so that I just need to call that function and the content will get to me whenever I want to. So right, and then I created the prompt template, prompt chain, all the things are same that we actually done into the collab. Then I actually pass the summarized text. This summarized text is actually providing me the summary. That's it, there is no other task of it. Then we have then we have created one more function in order to run these two functions simultaneously or sequentially. So first what I did, I will get the URL as the user, or user input the URL, I will get that URL, I will pass that URL into the video transcript, and that video transcript will give me the content, and I will pass that content into the summarized text, so it can directly summarize the text that we provided to it. So that's the additional thing that I actually created. Now let's move toward the front end. For the front end, I use Streamlit library, because you know that Python provided us the Streamlit library in order to done your task as a full stack application. So yeah, Streamlit library provide us all the tools or all the things that we actually need for the front end. So I write title here, so that YouTube summarizer, I just write YouTube summarizer. The title is the thing that actually appear here, right? So that's the title. Then we have video URL text input. So as you see that we have the text input, we actually call that. And as the user enter the video URL, I will directly call the summarize YouTube video that I actually implemented on utils.py, and I actually told you what it is doing. I passed that into it, and that gave me the summary. And I actually subheader, we actually created the header here, summary, and provided that content that actually the function is creating. So yeah, that's how we can create front end. In order to run this application, first you need to implement, you need to create your virtual environment. Remember that without virtual environment, don't run any kind of project, or don't create any such kind of projects, right? So for the virtual environment, I need to write the command python minus -venv. Here you can write your any name like my env, or YTENV. It's totally up to you that whatever the name you want to give to your virtual environment, you can give. I actually created the virtual environment, so I will not run this command. After running this command, I will actually activate the virtual environment through this command scripts activate. And as soon I activate this or run this command, here will I will get the virtual environment written behind the location of the project. Then what I need to do, I need to run this command also. If you are running this project first time, pip install -r requirement.txt. What it will do, it will install all the libraries that we actually want to run this application. So I already have installed all the libraries, so I will not run this command. And afterwards I need to just run streamlit dot run, oh sorry, streamlit run app.py. As soon as I run this, it will get me towards the front end. So yeah, now I will provide the URL and just enter it, and it will give me the summary. Hmm, yeah, we got the summary from the URL. So yeah, that's how you can create YouTube summarizer. You can also add additional things into it if you want to add, and you can also take it to your local, so that whenever you are like that I need to see along our videos, just put the URL here and get the summary for that video. That's it. Thank you for watching the video. Love.